Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast for Thursday, July 9th, 2020. Alright, so today a very simple day astrologically. We do have the moon well set in Aquarius, so the theme really good for seeing our future visions, cultivating our own personal aspirations for the future, but also great to be doing things maybe collectively, seeing what can induce change for the world or for our communities with the moon here in this very progressive and forward-thinking sign. Now today, no major aspects going exact, but we do have Mercury squaring Mars easing up. So if there was anything the past couple days that was a bit challenging with communications or with whatever it is you might be doing with your routine, where it felt like there was maybe some blocks or some frustrations with that Mars, that energy is lifting up here today, and we should notice that lifting up as we go into the rest of the week. All right, so let's take a look at this as well as a quick weekly recap here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Thursday. And again, we are using the visible sky called true sidereal astrology. This is different from mainstream astrology, which unfortunately does not use the visible sky. And so the signs are different. And so if you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so let's take a look here first at the moon's placement, well set in progressive Aquarius. So the theme today is likely around cultivating our future visions. If there is anything that you do want to cultivate regarding your own aspirations for the future, or again, collectively, I think is a great way of working with this. Fundamentally, it's saying that this phase of the month is great for getting in touch with that visionary, progressive, innovative, forward-thinking side. And so anything that does involve that can be a great way of working with this phase of the cycle. And we may even just notice some themes around this stuff. Fundamentally becoming more of our true self that does want to contribute or cultivate those future visions, and getting into our unorthodox, progressive, and challenging the status quo bit of energy there with the moon in Aquarius. So no major aspects going exact here today, but we are going to be lifting up off of this Mercury square Mars that we've had the past couple days. So if there was anything that you felt like there was either strong attachments with regarding communications, or some blocks sometimes with the square to Mars, where it feels like our needs and what we want is in conflict, let's say, with whatever it is we're communicating or doing with our routine. So if there was anything like that, do know that today that energy is lifting up, but it has been and will still be today a very constructive time to do this stuff in healthy ways. So with Mercury and Mars, how can we take initiative, assert ourselves with those communications, with whatever it is we're involved with in our routine, but with that conscious awareness, right? With non-attachment, being conscious, self-aware, so this energy does come through balanced and constructive. All right, so that's definitely the most important stuff going on here today. We do have some minor lunar aspects. Moon trining Mercury in the very early part of the day could be good to, as that energy lifts off, to maybe still, rework some things. We have Mercury retrograde, and so it is a good time of going back and redoing things, reworking on matters, maybe going back and relearning or re-editing or recommunicating. So good to be flexible, right? Flexible with all this mental and communicative stuff. And through this process, we're learning a lot. It's good to experiment with Mercury retrograde, especially with both of these planets, Mercury and the Sun, in this constellation of Gemini that represents a lot of the same things. All right, but a square up to Venus with the moon, again minor, but good to bring some extra attention to relating. That can be very constructive as well, and finding healthy values and enjoyments today in constructive ways. And a very slight sextile up to Uranus, suggesting again a bit of that Aquarius energy, getting into some of that progressive, innovative, and forward-thinking side of ourselves. All right, and again, in the weekly sense, we did just have that partial lunar eclipse, full moon last weekend. And so if there has been some things that you did a status check with, or came to your awareness that you do want to implement this week, great week to do that. And again, today in that visionary and progressive way with Aquarius. Let's go and do a quick recap. We do have Mars in Pisces. So when we are taking action and asserting ourselves, really important to be receptive at this time. This will be all the way up until about mid-January with Mars here. And so, accessing more of that acceptance, finding that current of life and putting energy into that current. Sometimes a bit of rest or a more receptive approach to what we want can be very constructive with Mars here. And again, any ideals that can be put action towards could be also really good. Now, Venus is still well set in Taurus, where she's comfortable. So when it comes to those relationships and our enjoyments, still really good to be enjoying the more sensual and nature and grounded elements. Really good time of enjoying food, comforts, beauty, aesthetics. It's a great way of connecting and just enjoying things at the moment. And then again, of course, with the Sun and Mercury in Gemini, the larger monthly theme is about developing more of our practical side. So still good to be focused on learning, still good to be focused on developing our communication, connection with our neighbors, our peers, even siblings with Gemini, all this stuff that we do see eye to eye with others and are willing to exchange and share can make it a great way of working with this. Or just simply learning, right? Picking up that book, maybe doing some writing. That's a great way of working with this month. But today specifically, we do have the moon in Aquarius in this disseminating phase, implementing the insights from last weekend. And how can we develop this future-oriented, visionary, eccentric, unorthodox side of ourselves here today specifically. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily videos, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the next daily forecast. Take care.